Welcome to the Online Car Show channel. I'm James, and today we're going to be unveiling the new car. So without hesitation, let's get this video started. Alright, well, with the car I decided to go with, just to let y'all know, it was kind of a process getting it and stuff and getting the exact one I wanted. For those that don't know, I'm going to go ahead and unveil the car here now. We've got a Porsche Cayman, or 718 Cayman GTS. Whoa, whoa. Ooh, I couldn't do that, man. He had my heart going. Oh, he just natural at it.
Yeah, I think he was born with that.
Little scrape there he told me about. That orange. Hey. Man. Yep.
Just take a picture.
Yeah. For those that don't know, there was kind of a process getting the car. Once I decided what model I wanted to go with, I wanted certain color. I did want to go with an orange. I just love orange cars. Those that don't know, I tried to get an Inferno ZR1 when I first got the Corvette, and then we find the SS Blue, and I loved it too. But anyways, long story short, I've always wanted an orange car, so I knew Porsche had a really pretty lava orange, which they've discontinued, I found out, the last 2 years. So I knew the car I wanted had to be 2020, I guess, or later. I love the lava orange. It is just freaking gorgeous. But and it also had to have certain options. I wanted the GTS package, and for those that don't know, the GTS is just covered in Alcantara in the inside, and you've got it, you know, above your head on the car. You've got it, if you get the standard package, you get it on the bottom of the dash, you get it on parts of the door, you get it on the seats, you get it on the steering wheel. I didn't want all that Alcantara. I've had Alcantara, as y'all know, in the past, and Corvettes and the Camaro, and I'm not a big fan of Alcantara on the seats or the steering wheel, especially on any car you're planning, you know, going to the beach or something like that. Any oils and stuff, you know, that get on your hands and stuff can transfer to the wheel, and if you got suntan lotion or something on your legs, you go to sit in the car, that's going to ruin your Alcantara. So I'm just not a big fan of Alcantara and things I'm going to touch. I know it feels really good, and it's really good on a track, and the feeling of it in your hands and stuff is incredible, but I just didn't want it on my steering wheel. I just learned that lesson before. It's a pain to clean, and once it gets dirty, it just never quite looks the same. So I wanted an Alcantara delete kit, and honestly, that narrowed it down to 3 cars in the United States. One was all the way up in Oregon. One was this one in Florida, and the other one I think was North Carolina or something like that. And the orange one in Miami, you know, it fit the bill perfectly. There were some other things about this car that just told me, you know, it was the one. The whole car is actually wrapped in a PPF clear plastic coating. Let me see if I can find a seam here so you can see it. But it's actually and the dealer told me this, I didn't realize it, but it's custom cut for the car. You can see the seams of the plastic don't actually go into the seam of the body panel, and so dealer told me it was custom cut for the car, which is really cool. I've never actually had a plastic coating. What I found from the Galveston trip this weekend, it is super easy to deal with. I had bugs just covered on the front of this car from this weekend, and they just wiped right off. It was like the easiest car wash I've ever done with the car. The dirt and everything just kind of fell off the car. So I love this PPF coating that's on the car. It covers the entire car. That, and he had one of the keys custom painted to match the car. And I know that's silly, but that just tells me a little something about the, previous owner or the dealership that bought this, or whoever custom ordered it, that they spent their time. It wasn't probably purpose for a track, or it wasn't ordered for a track or anything, because of the little stuff he ordered extra in the interior and stuff. Just tells me it was somebody that really cared about the car, and it was probably treated right. The car also, when I bought it, only had 4,155 miles for a 2018 Cayman. So it had super low miles, basically a new car. And the car sat in a showroom for 2 years in New York City without being sold. So the really cool thing about this whole deal is, because of Porsche has a 4-year factory warranty, this car wasn't sold to 2020, which means it still has, that's when the warranty got tagged. By their rules in the warranty, it says by time of purchase of the first purchaser. So is when the warranty kicks off. So that went until January 2021. So I still have 2.5 years of warranty left on the car, and it's actually going in because this weekend, while the wife was adjusting the seat, we had an issue with the seat moving back and forth. So it's going in actually today, and they're gonna get that looked at and hopefully fixed up here for me. But so pumped about the car. We've driven it all weekend. It has been an absolute blast, is all I can say. I've never gotten so many compliments on any of the cars I've owned. Last night we went up just to get Wendy's, and I go through the first window, and some guy is just drooling on the car, telling me how much he loves the car and stuff. And get to the next window, and the lady there giving my food, she's doing the same thing. It's just everywhere I go, people compliment this car, and she is gorgeous. That's how I feel about it. And I just love the orange. It is a hot color. And the driving feel, if any of y'all have ever driven a mid-engine car, especially something the size of a Miata, basically like this, I think these weigh like barely over 3,000 pounds. If I remember right, maybe with the PDK, I think this one weighs somewhere around 3,090 pounds. So super light car. It's 360 pounds less than the ZR1, even with all the carbon fiber it had. So it's a super light car, super short wheelbase. It's got the mid-engine behind the behind the passenger and driver's seat. So it's like basically driving a go-kart when you're on the road. It's really cool. And for those that don't know, the different packages of Porsche with the Cayman this year, at least, you went from with the Cayman base model, it had Cayman base model, you basically got a 2.0 liter, I think still turbocharged, Boxster 4 motor. And then when you go up to a Cayman S, you get a 350 horsepower 2.5 liter. The displacement goes up, but I think it's the same size turbo. Correct me if I'm wrong there. You go up to a 2.5 liter and same size turbo, and the horsepower goes up to 350. From there, if you end up getting the GTS package, with the GTS package you get an extra 15 horsepower, and basically what it is, it's that same 2.5 liter turbocharged Boxster 4. The extra 15 horsepower comes from them going from a 64 millimeter turbo to a 67 millimeter turbo. And I think correct me if I'm wrong on this, the turbo boost goes from like 16 to 18. So the boost pressure increases by 2. Going with the GTS, it's got a bigger turbo, and of course it's got a bigger intake manifold to take in that bigger turbo bore. But it has been a blast with the PDK, which those don't know, the PDK is the automatic transmission for Porsche. It's got the paddle shifters, and the reason I went PDK, you get a couple more torque, and I think it's because of the overboost button in here. But super fast dual clutch transmission, and I know I haven't owned an automatic since like high school. That's going to take some getting used to and stuff, and I was a little bit worried about that, but being, you know, I'd like to take this on long trips and stuff, and I live in Houston, the automatic will be nice. So I went ahead and did it, and to feel those paddle shifters too, which is really fun with the dual clutch. When you have it in drive, you just pop it over into manual, you can literally just kind of slap it over, and you've got full control with the paddle shifters. Really cool. As I mentioned, it's got one of the things you get with the GTS package, and I'll go over this in more detail on a, you know, in-depth review of the car, but some of the major stuff you get with the GTS package, yes, you get the bigger turbo, you get a wheel upgrade, I'll show you all some of that on the outside, but you also get the Sport Chrono package. You get this really cool lap timer clock up here with the seconds hand moving, and you also get the Sport Chrono dial down here, allows you to go between normal mode, sport plus, and individual. So you just kind of slide that over while you're driving. Really cool, and it makes a huge freaking difference. Going from normal, it's just kind of like a quiet, tame, you know, normal drive. You crank it over to sport, and that's what I use. Sport plus, it hangs the gear, so that must be a kind of a track only setting. But sport, you feel the suspension immediately stiffen up, the throttle response increases insanely. It's a totally different car when you switch from normal to sport. The whole dynamics of the car totally change, and it's really cool. So if you just want a normal, you know, miles per gallon cruise or whatever, leave it normal. You'll have a quiet exhaust, you'll get good gas mileage, and very comfortable drive. You want to have a little fun, put it in sport and go to town. The biggest complaint, and I'm going to show this in a things I don't like and things I like. My wife started to put her feet on the leather, of course, but the biggest thing I don't like with this entire car after buying it is just the cup holders. They are the worst thing I've ever seen as far as cup holders. I love everything else in this car. It is so luxurious inside. You can tell just the quality of the leather in here is just on a different level than I've ever had before. It's the owner, of course, did pay for the orange stitching here, so that definitely added some flavor to it. But to get back to this interior is gorgeous. The steering wheel's a GT wheel upgrade. Everything in here is gorgeous. Then you get to these damn cup holders, and they're the most over-engineered. But anyways, you push the button, they come popping out, right? You get one for each side, and then you can put the cover back up to cover the little hole. But look how small that damn cup holder is. Honestly, Porsche, if you're going to sell cars in the United States, you got to know we like our big gulps, and that is not going to fit a big gulp. It does expand out a lot, allowing you to fit bigger drinks and stuff, but it's not really useful. And it's right over the stereo. So let's say you have something slush out here, you know, your drink slushes out. It's going to go all over your climate control, your radio, and then down here with all your, you know, sport buttons and stuff like that. So that is something, Porsche, you guys really need to address. I understand it's cool and all that. It's over-engineered. It's got that German engineering feel to it, but it's useless. That is my only complaint with this car. And honestly, it's worse of a complaint than I thought it was. When you're in here and you want to drink, you know, whether it be water or whatever, you want to carry something with you on long trips. It does make it a pain. I know they make little cup holders you can slide in between your seat and stuff, and I may look at some of those options in the future. We'll see. But for right now, I've got a little Porsche thermos. I've ordered all the forums and stuff said the Porsche thermoses hold in really good, and to go with that option. But that's $58 for a freaking cup. Finish off kind of the interior here just to go over everything. This one's got, again, I'm going to do an in-depth review, but it does have the Alcantara Delete, so you've got a nice hard leather. I don't know if it's natural or not, but it's a really nice leather on here. It feels really good. These are the 18-way adjustable seats, so whoever bought it did opt up on the seats. It's got, I mean, you can adjust everything. The sides of it here grip onto the sides of my rib cage here, and you can adjust how far they grip you. The bottom bolsters down here, they also move back and forth, so you can grip yourself into the seat really nice. And of course the back airs up, giving you lumbar support, moves forward, backwards. Even the front of this seat right here moves forward, allowing for more leg, you know, more, if you've got long legs, you can move the front of the seat outward, making the seat longer. So the seat totally adjusts every which way I would ever need it to. It's got the GT upgraded steering wheel. I think it's a premium package or something that allows for these buttons to be on here. Only thing kind of annoying is you don't have track next or, you know, forward and backwards on your radio controls. It is really easy to get to on the radio right there, but it would be nice to have a forward and backwards other than just a volume knob. I'm going to again show you a more in-depth review later on, but we've got also this is an option. This is usually chrome here, and you can option it out to be carbon fiber, or this is a dark brushed chrome or dark brushed aluminum look. So it's got that going all throughout, which I really like. The C8 Corvette also has that option, and when I was optioning out one of them, looking at it, that was how I had it spec too. So it's kind of funny, it matches the exact spec that I had on my C8 Corvette. Some of the stuff. What else here? It's got the adaptive sports spoiler, so I think it's at 56 miles per hour. Your spoiler raises up automatically and then goes back down. Or you can set it via a button in the side. Gives it a really cool look when you raise that up. And I guess it increases downforce if you're moving. To go over, I guess, some of the exterior stuff that came with the GTS package. You get the headlights in black. These are also optioned up to the xenon lights, and they actually, when you turn the steering wheel inside the car, the headlight beam turns, and it's kind of weird to get used to at first, honestly, but once you get used to it, it's really cool because it allows you to see around tight corners, see anything coming. If there's an animal on the road, something like that, you'll see it a little bit quicker than you would without it. The other thing you get with the GTS package is you get this sport design bumper in the front. You can see here it's got three open grills going across with 3 separate radiators in there. Plus I believe it's got one on each side in the side vents, because I can hear the fans going on them after I park the car. So this thing's got some freaking radiators to breathe. You can see the little ugly little sensor things here. This one also has the option for the parking sensors and all that. As I mentioned, it gets the black treatment with the GTS package. You also get the 20-inch Carrera wheels that come standard with the GTS package, which I think are gorgeous. I love these wheels. They're easy to clean. They've got huge spokes on them. They've just got a really nice look to them. I think standard it comes with 19-inch wheels on the Cayman and Cayman S. What else comes with the GTS package? Before I leave it off here, we've got the black taillights. They come with it. You also get a black muffler tips, exhaust tips. Of course, you get blacked out here. With the GTS package, the model insignia is blacked out here, there, and the previous owner opted to get the Porsche logo on this one blacked out, which I really like. You know, it's kind of weird having everything all blacked out in the standard GTS, and then it's saying Porsche across here in chrome. So this one was ordered with that blacked out, which is nice. But it just, all in all, it's been a great car. It feels so incredible to drive. The steering wheel is so light. I'm guessing because mid-engine and the weight's in the back of the car. And it's just, I don't know the word to use. I want to say precise with how it drives, but I guess that's a good word. You know, if you're looking for a certain line or something through a corner, this car will put you directly on that line. That's no doubt. It's way more refined than any car I've ever driven. And that's exactly what I was wanting. I was wanting more of a raw driving car, something I could take out to tow the Dragon, take to the desert, take to South Dakota, take on some trips with the family. Just enjoy, you know, the car. And that's really what I wanted. And I think this really fulfills it. And God, I love the orange. It doesn't ever show up right in cameras. I'm hoping when I edit this, that it'll show up better. It always shows up red. But this thing is really honestly more orange than red. It is red, does have a red tint, but seeing it in person and seeing it in camera is totally different things for whatever reason. It's something with the way cameras process colors, I guess. But I'm going to be giving y'all, I've got a little bit of driving footage I'm going to release here with this video. I know y'all requested some, so there'll be a lot more coming in the future. And I'm also going to, of course, we're going to let the wife drive it, give her first drive, and let y'all see that. Watch me be scared to death in the passenger seat. And there you have it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments of the car. You know, I love it, and honestly, it doesn't really matter to me because I've always, you know, you should make decisions based on what you like and not what other people think. But I am really curious what y'all think. You know, let me know. Don't be scared to open up. This was a huge jump for me. You know, I've always owned American Muscle and all that. I've always loved Porsches and stuff, and respect them, of course, because their tracking abilities and stuff like that, and the raw driving feel. But I've never really appreciated it till I drove one, and it's there. If any of y'all are thinking about going out doing the same, I recommend going out test driving one. It's worth it. You know, like I said, it's only 365 horsepower. With the tune though, you gain 75 horsepower off this thing. You can crank it up to 425, and that's a pretty perfect street number considering it's only 3,000 pound car. 425 horsepower is a lot in a car that less. That'd be like 500 horsepower in another car. I consider 500 horsepower the perfect street number for a street car. So if you like my videos, you like my content, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe below. That helps all my videos to grow, helps get my channel out there, and helps make all the time I spend doing this kind of worth it. And thank y'all so much for watching my channel.